turning this
I
mic
might
over
ask
to
somebody
God.
else to read tonight because I'm not feeling good. But yeah, I Brooklyn called me earlier, and then Lynn tried to help me find my
God.
phone to read tonight because I'm not. What's that?
Echo.
God, do you ever hear your voice and you're like, ugh?
Oh, that was the funny thing. Maureen Muldoon said, how long have I had this thing with my voice that I've just lost my voice and it's all like this, right? And so she said, you sound different. And I'm like, well, yeah, because, I had this thing happen and now I'm taking these drugs that are affecting my vocal cords and she goes, well, you sound like you have so much more authority. She said, I sound like I have authority. I say, oh, okay. Got one of those authoritarian squeaky voices. I think I'm sorry to say it, but to me, it makes me think about RFK Jr. That's what my daughter always says. Is this my mom or RFK, Mr. Brainworm? No. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and let you guys go.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
We'll start with the prayer. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Not that. Bob is saying here, I am always anxious to give away copies of my books to anyone willing to leave a candid review on Amazon. If you are Amazon eligible, visit the website and pick a title that might benefit you. Send me an email at robert@dinojamesbooks.com and I will return a PDF file. All right, moving on to his newest thing, movies. Not the newest, but he's been enjoying it the past few days. I have enjoyed movies as long as I can remember. Even as I transition into spiritual writing, I still enjoy movies. So much so that I've tried to find the spiritual side of movies, even where none was obvious. I even wrote an essay that asked, are movies angels? Taking the position that if angels are messengers of God, then this is quite possible and conceivable. I have penned dozens of movie reviews, finding the spiritual messages in the oddest places.
Let me just jump in here for a minute. I don't know how many of you watch really dumb movies, but there was one that came out years ago called Paul about a little gray alien. I managed to find something godlike and God loving even within that stupid movie. So that'll give you an idea how hard I look. Go ahead.
Okay, you got to get
Oh,
back
sorry. Slow down.
What was the name of the movie again?
Paul, Paul.
Okay, I'll look it up.
About a gray alien. Crazy movie. A lot of bathroom humor, but brilliant. Anyway, one movie.
Okay. One movie I viewed recently offered an impressive message in a monologue that was colorful, to say the least. I submit it for your consideration as to its deeper message. One of the closing scenes from The Scent of a Woman.
And I want to emphasize it is definitely colorful. Al Pacino has, in this monologue, he's got quite a mouth on him. But if you can get beyond that, there's a great lesson to be learned here. So let me bring it up. It runs about 8 minutes. Come on, here we go.
I'm going to recommend to the disciplinary committee that you be expelled. Mr. Sims, you are a cover-up artist and you are a liar.
But not a snitch.
Excuse me?
No, I don't think I will.
Mr. Slade.
This is such a crock of shit.
Please watch your language, Mr. Slade. You are in the Baird School, not a barracks. Mr. Sims, I will give you one final opportunity to speak up.
Mr. Sims doesn't want it. He doesn't need to be labeled still worthy of being a Baird man. What the hell is that? What is your motto here? Boys, inform on your classmates, save your hide. Anything short of that, we're gonna burn you at the stake? Well, gentlemen, when the shit hits the fan, some guys run and some guys stay. Here's Charlie facing the fire, and there's George hiding in Big Daddy's pocket. And what are you doing? You're gonna reward George and destroy Charlie.
Are you finished, Mr. Slade?
No, I'm just getting warmed up. I don't know who went to this place. William Howard Taft, William Jennings Bryan, William Tell, whoever. Their spirit is dead, if they ever had one. It's gone. You're building a rat ship here. A vessel for seagoing snitches. And if you think you're preparing these minnows for manhood, you better think again. Because I say you are killing the very spirit this institution proclaims it instills. What a sham. What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today? I mean, the only class in this act is sitting next to me, and I'm here to tell you, this boy's soul is intact. It's non-negotiable. You know how I know? Someone here, and I'm not gonna say who, offered to buy it. Only Charlie here wasn't selling.
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order? I show you out of order. You don't know what out of order is, Mr. Trask. I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too fucking blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place. Out of order. Who the hell do you think you're talking to? I've been around, you know. There was a time I could see, and I have seen, boys like these, younger than these, their arms torn out, their legs ripped off. But there is nothing like the sight of an amputated spirit. There is no prosthetic for that. You think you're merely sending this splendid foot soldier back home to Argonne with his tail between his legs, but I say you are executing his soul. And why? Because he's not a bad man. Bad men. You hurt this boy, you're gonna be bad bums, the lot of you. And Harry, Jimmy, Trent, wherever you are out there, fuck you too.
Stand down, Mr. Slade.
I'm not finished. As I came in here, I heard those words, cradle of leadership. Well, when the bow breaks, the cradle will fall, and it has fallen here. It has fallen. Makers of men, creators of leaders, be careful what kind of leaders you're producing here. I don't know if Charlie's silence here today is right or wrong. I'm not a judge or jury, but I can tell you this. He won't sell anybody out to buy his future. And that, my friends, is called integrity. That's called courage. Now that's the stuff leaders should be made of. Now I have come to the crossroads in my life. I always knew what the right path was. Without exception, I knew, but I never took it. You know why? It was too damn hard. Now here's Charlie. He's come to the crossroads. He has chosen a path. It's the right path. It's a path made of principle that leads to character. Let him continue on his journey. You hold this boy's future in your hands, committee. It's a valuable future. Believe me, don't destroy it, protect it. Embrace it. It's gonna make you proud one day, I promise you. How's that for calling ball? Nothing could shut him up, sir.
The disciplinary committee will take this matter under advisement in closed session.
What are they doing, Charlie?
I think they're going to come to a decision.
Take this off the state. Very well. Apparently that meeting will be unnecessary. Mrs. Hunsiker?
The Joint Student-Faculty Disciplinary Committee needs no further sessions. They have come to a decision. Messrs. Havemeyer, Potter, and Jameson are placed on probation for suspicion of ungentlemanly conduct. It is further recommended that Mr. George Willis, Jr. receive neither recognition nor commendation for his cooperation. Mr. Charles Sims is excused from any further response to this incident.
Hoorah!
As I tried to warn you, it was a bit colorful. But the important thing that I saw in that message is one about integrity. And, well, I don't need to say any more. Anyway, so I'm going to let,
Did they have any comments?
does anybody want to comment on that? I mean, if they thought it was inappropriate, just let me know. But it's what I felt at the moment. Nobody. Okay.
I thought it was great. I did not think that it was inappropriate in any way at all.
Thank
And
you.
it's just a point of doing the right thing. And I have not seen that movie, but it looks like a real banger, so I may
Oh,
check
it's a
it out
great
someday.
movie. I've seen it about 6 times.
Gosh.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Okay, so lots
What's
of
the
people
name
are
of the
saying
movie?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino.
Thank you.
I think it was made in the late 90s. I'm not sure. And it's on, I think you can get it on YouTube. Anyway, Brooklyn.
Namaste, mighty companions. Wow, that not offensive at all.
Okay.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Bob.
Thank you, Rafi.
Yeah, it very clearly showed the difference between following an ego track that said, let's do this because it's going to make us look great, instead of following the truth. And what Pacino did was throw all that shit out and say, this, you're going to listen to the truth, or you're going to follow that stuff and just fall in line with all of the nonsense that constantly produces and then repeats itself. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. And that's basically why I chose it. And you know me, I take chances, but I do what is in my heart at the moment. So, anybody else? Oh, Karen, hi, hello.
Oh my gosh. Hi. I just happened to be on YouTube and I saw this live stream and I saw you playing that movie. I was like, damn, I got to get on there. I love that movie and that is my favorite part of that movie.
Mhm.
That was not inappropriate at all. And that movie was astounding. I mean, that those two together, I mean, if you look at how the course says the script is written. They were joined together to help each other. They helped each other so much in that movie. It was I just can't speak, and I would see that if I could see that 12 times, I would see it 12 times too, Robert. So not inappropriate at all. Perfectly perfect. Thank you. It makes me want to watch that movie again.
We'll have a movie night one night. Okay, Karen. Oh, Karen, you just finished. Okay, anybody else before we keep moving?
Yeah, Robert, I just want to say thank you for showing it. I've seen it before. Actually, I was putting you on my resentment list when you cut it off. I wanted to see the rest of it. But
Yeah,
I
it's a great movie.
yeah, I'm going to
And it
watch it again.
really,
But my point is that it was a it was a little different from when I saw it before. Because when I saw it before, I was in another lifestyle, in another
yes.
lifetime. And when I see it now, it's clearly still a great movie, but I'm seeing it from another bridge. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do that, Robert. Thank you. And
Well,
hello to your
tonight,
beautiful
thank
wife.
you, Matthew. Sorry, thank you, Rico. We're looking at these things today through a different set of eyes. We're not using eyes at all. We're using vision. And the difference is unbelievable. Rafi.
Yeah, the next sentence, many of my essays are a bit long-winded and sometimes boring. I find that you putting yourself down or criticizing yourself is an ego ploy that you're not aware of. I mean, we are all expressing God, the divine presence, our own way. And there's nothing boring or long-winded about anything that we express coming from the truth of what we are expressing through us. And I just wanted to comment on that. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do.
Lynn.
Before we go to Lynn, I'm gonna use the most important key on the computer. There we go. Okay, so Lynn, yes.
All right, that's beautiful. I love that. Delete. That's the way we got to go. If the story doesn't fit, delete. I love that. But something I was going to say, totally unrelated. So what I noticed is that in that kind of courtroom scene, the guy who was the guy in charge with the hammer, the gavel, whatever, I have
Yes.
seen that same actor in movie after movie after movie playing the same shitty character. It's like he is typecast to be that person. And
Yep.
as I was watching that and thinking about that, I was thinking, and it's such a shame because so many great actors like Alan Rickman, he kind of got typecast, but he was a great actor and played many wonderful parts. But that's what we do in this life. We typecast people. We look at people, oh, look, she's cute and blonde. She must be stupid. Look, he's old and bald. He must be smart. We think these things and put them in this in the and they are basically the same character in the movie over and over. And if that wasn't enough to show us that what we're living in is a movie. It's a story. It's a dream. It's and every single character has been picked to play the role. I mean, I'm sure that guy didn't go home every day and say, "Wow, I got to be a real jerk today again. What a happy life I have." I'm sure he was happy to get a paycheck, and I'm sure that he was
Yeah.
happy to be in the movie. But what if he had been given the part of Saint Francis or something? Would people have even been able to buy that? That's to look at people and determine who they are by how they appear, and actually we're the ones that gave that definition to that person. Like Margaret Hamilton that played the Wicked Witch of the West in the Wizard of Oz. You know, it was because of the way she looked that she was cast as a witch. And, I don't know where I'm going with this other than, I just see a propensity to typecast people and to not see them as they truly are. And I'm going to be a lot more cautious of that right now. Anyway, thank you for letting me share. And I see Karen and Mickey both have their hands up too.
Yeah, Karen?
Yeah, that's a really good point, Lynn. He actually played, I think, with Al Pacino in Carlito's Way. And he was also the same character. I think he was the district attorney who was out to get him. And it's interesting because Hollywood seems to do that too. They seem to play a lot of characters in the same roles. So very, very interesting that you said that. Thanks.
Nikki?
Yeah, I thank you, Lynn, so much for that because what occurred to me is that it doesn't just happen in Hollywood. It happens with everyone. Everyone we meet, if they remind us of someone in our past who we didn't like, all of a sudden we are typecasting them. And Ed wrote in the chat, everyone everywhere. Yeah. There people we like the way they look or we like the way they act, and all of a sudden they're the perfect person, and little do we know what's really going on under the surface. And I think we all, and we're not always cast as the same type for every person, but I I really do think we immediately typecast people when we meet them and pigeonhole them. So it's something to think about. What a what a juicy topic. Thanks.
Thank you. Sharon?
Oh, thanks for bringing this in tonight. I love Al Pacino, and I'm like you, Robert. I love movies. I mean, I can watch. I'm sick today, so I watched after I took a nap. I watched a movie, but I find movies, and just today, Lynn and I we were watching Nonviolent Communication, and it really does. It has a depth to it, the teaching, because what I was seeing is what Lynn just shared when I was watching this movie, how we typecast everyone, how we don't know one thing. I mean, that's what the course says over and over. And yet, oh, look at her. Oh, I bet she's really spoiled. Or, oh, look at her. Like, what I'm trying to say is we know nothing. So if we keep that in the forefront of our minds, that's it. Yeah, it's just it's violence. This is what we were talking about today, that when you read Marshall Rosenberg's stuff, you learn that there's so much violence. But I love what you shared tonight, Robert. It's real good for the group. You can see it from the Holy Spirit perspective and you can see it from the egos. But Al Pacino, if anybody, and it's so funny, for years I love Ken Wapnick, but I didn't love his voice. And Karen said one time to me, "Oh, Sharon, he sounds like Al Pacino." And then all of a sudden I like Ken's voice. The ego calmed down. So there you go. Anyway, thank you. Love you, Robert. Both of you.
Thank
You're
you.
both Cherie. You're both loved.
Thank you. Karen?
Sharon,
Okay.
that is so funny. And the only other person I've heard say that, which I'm sure there are others, was Leon. Leon said the same thing. His wife thought that as well. It's so hilarious. The other thing you shared, Sharon, and everyone that's sharing reminds me of how important the holy instant is, and how important it is to see our brother as brand new every time we see our brother. That, you know, the holy instant, the whole purpose is to not judge and not to see the past or the future and be in the present moment. And that's why it's so helpful to practice that, to practice the holy instant, practice seeing our brother for the very first time. It is a beautiful practice. And I just wanted to share that. Thanks.
Thank you. Sharon, you want to continue?
Moving on. As of this morning, there are over 130 unread essays. Since we read about 3 a week and Bob writes an average of 2 or 3 a day, we have an endless list until he is no more. He hopes someone continues to share them after he's gone. Someone once compared him to Ken Wapnick. He found that rather embarrassing. He is no Ken Wapnick, but he is the original Bob Sears. And like Ken, doing the job he was called to do. Enough said. This segment should not be about what he wants to say, but what you or I may need to hear. With that in mind, who would like to select and read an essay? Ask your inner teacher which one sounds right for you. It is a rotating list. Each week, new items are added and previously shared ones are archived. So the list is coming up.
I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom to get to some of the newest ones. Yeah, these are the latest. We'll pick one of those and then, oops. We'll pick one of those and then we'll go back and do some of the old ones.
Can you move that up a little bit?
No, I can't. It'll jump to the next page.
All right, well, is there anything on there?
Anybody wanna? Thank you, Karen. Anybody wanna pick one? You wanna pick one?
Well, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Does that sound interesting to people?
Okay,
All right.
we'll go there.
Karen has her hand up.
Oh, sorry, Karen, go ahead. What?
Yeah, that's perfect reading. I just wanted to say how good Robert looks and sounds tonight. I just wanted to say that. That's all. Thanks.
Yeah, he really does. He does.
I'm putting on a good show. I feel like crap.
I will have to share for you that about a week and a half ago, he quit taking all medications and has changed what he is eating or not eating. And it has made a huge difference in his attitude and so on. So we're very happy with that.
Okay.
Okay. Today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. If you think too much about it, we'll all get messed up. There is a simple sentence that quietly exposes one of the mind's favorite habits. Today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. At first glance, it sounds clever, maybe even humorous. But if we sit with it for a moment, the sentence begins to reveal something deeper. It exposes one of the most persistent illusions of the human mind, our habit of living almost anywhere except where we actually are. Yesterday, we worried about today, and I certainly did. We imagined problems that might arise. We rehearsed conversations that had not yet happened. We predicted outcomes that felt frightening, embarrassing, or uncomfortable. Entire stories were written in the theater of the mind about what tomorrow might bring. And now, tomorrow has arrived. It is called today. Most of the time, the catastrophe we rehearsed never happened. The conversation unfolded differently. The problem solved itself. The feared outcome quickly dissolved. Sometimes nothing happened at all. The storm existed only in the imagination. Yet the mind rarely learns from this pattern. Instead, it simply begins worrying about the next tomorrow. The wisdom of A Course in Miracles speaks directly to this strange habit of the mind. The past is gone. The future is but imagined. These concerns are but defenses against present change of focus. From A Course in Miracles. This observation cuts through our usual thinking with remarkable clarity. The past no longer exists, and the future has not yet arrived. Yet the mind spends enormous energy moving back and forth between these two shadows. Yesterday is memory. Tomorrow is imagination. Neither one is happening now. But the present moment is always quietly here, waiting to be noticed. The Course says this truth is the simplest possible terms. The present is the only time there is. If that line were taken seriously, it would transform the way most people live their lives. Think about how much of life is spent postponing peace. I'll relax when this problem is solved. I'll feel safe when the future is secure. I'll be happy when things finally work out. But the future is never secure because the future never arrives as a future. When it comes, it arrives disguised as another now. Life is always happening in the present moment. And yet the mind treats the present like a waiting room, a temporary stop on the way to some imagined moment when everything will finally be okay. Meanwhile, today quietly unfolds. Breath flows in and out. Conversations occur. Meals are shared. The sun rises and sets with perfect indifference to the worries of the human mind. Life keeps offering itself moment by moment. Yet the mind is often somewhere else. It is reviewing yesterday's mistakes or rehearsing tomorrow's disasters. The irony is almost humorous. Yesterday we worried about today, and today we are worrying about tomorrow. Peace is always scheduled for a day that never appears on the calendar. And yet the truth is far simpler than the mind would like to admit. Right now, in this moment, you are alive. Right now, in this moment, you are breathing. Right now, in this moment, life is quietly continuing. Nothing else is actually happening. This does not mean that practical planning disappears. Schedules still exist. Decisions still need to be made. Bills must be paid, meals prepared, and responsibilities handled. But these things can all be addressed calmly in the present moment. Planning happens now. Action happens now. Even solving problems happens now. Worry, on the other hand, almost always lives in a future that does not yet exist. It is imagination dressed up as preparation. When we see this clearly, the grip of worry begins to loosen. We start to recognize that the mind has been running a story that rarely comes true. The Course reminds us that much of what we fear belongs to a world of unreality. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. If what we fear is not actually real, then the energy we spend worrying about it becomes unnecessary. The mind begins to relax its hold on imagined outcomes. Instead of attempting to control tomorrow, we can allow tomorrow to unfold. The workbook captures this shift beautifully in one of its lesson titles. I place the future in the hands of God. There is a profound relief hidden in that statement. It acknowledges that the future does not belong to our anxious predictions. Life is larger than the mind's attempts to manage it. Our real task is much simpler. Be present for the moment that is here. There is another remarkable line in the Course that brings this idea into sharp focus. For now is the closest approximation of eternity that this world offers. If eternity touches the world anywhere, it touches it now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now. This moment is the only doorway through which life can actually be experienced. Seen in this light, that simple sentence we began with becomes almost profound. Today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. And somehow here you are. The sky did not fall. The earth kept turning. Life continued exactly as it always does. The mind created storms that never arrived. Perhaps it is time to experiment with a different approach. Instead of worrying about tomorrow, what if we simply lived today? Not the imagined today of our fears, not the reconstructed today of our regrets, just the simple unfolding present moment. Life is like a necklace made of pearls, but each pearl is a present moment. Yesterday's pearls are already strung behind us. Tomorrow's pearls have not yet appeared. The only pearl we can actually hold is the one in our hands right now, this moment. And when we truly hold it, something remarkable happens. The weight of yesterday becomes lighter. The anxiety of tomorrow begins to dissolve. The mind returns to its natural resting place, peace, which leads to a quiet and rather liberating question. If today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday, what if tomorrow's worry is simply another illusion waiting to be exposed? Perhaps the invitation is simpler than we think. Just live this pearl. The next one will arrive soon enough. Any thoughts? Sharon.
This was incredible. I mean, I can't, when this stuff comes through you, Robert, I'm just blown away. Your work is just, everything you write is art. It's just so magnificent. And, you know, we were talking about Ken Wapnick before. Writes differently than you, but you're both scholars. That's what I see. Because you're like incredibly gifted with your writing, and everything is profound. And, sometimes it's easier to just read what you're writing, because you had told me you made this work for people maybe that can't always understand the Course, because it's basically the course, I would say you have to do the course because it's set up as a mind training, but this is such a compliment to the Course in Miracles. I'm just so grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Sharon that this is so good. Oh my, so many thoughts came through my mind. You mentioned I place the future in the hands of God, lesson 194, and your title today is a tomorrow you worried about yesterday reminds me where he says God holds your future as he holds your past, present. No, how's it go? God holds your future. Oh yeah, God holds your future as he holds your past and present. They are one to him, and so they should be one to you. That's what that reminds me of. That's such a great title. And also it reminds me how this world is a dream. And like you think about it, and not too long, like 15 minutes is going to be over. Time is the vast illusion, and we're going to be in another place. We're all going to be whatever we're doing. So this is just a dream. This will be over. This time now will be over. And the other thing I learned about the present moment is I have no regrets. When I live in the present moment, there is no regrets. It's only now. There's no lessons to learn. There's no judgment. The course even says, there's not even a body. The body doesn't even exist. But I just think this was amazing. I would love a copy of it. And it also reminded me of one more thing that came to my mind is Albert Einstein, who says the past is just a thought we're having, and the future is just a thought we're having. Thank you.
Thank you. Sharonda?
Yeah, thank you. So good to be with you, Bob. And Cherie, thank you for your beautiful, excellent reading. And it's good to be with all of you. I loved when you wrote, however you said it, Bob, that peace is always someday, someday that's not on the calendar. We study A Course in Miracles, and I guess I should speak for myself. It's like, do I not expect miracles? Do I really not expect peace? So that I'm always putting it out in the future somewhere or somewhere where it's never going to happen, where I'll never experience it. That is insanity, as the Course say it. And the piece that's so insane is that we know conceptually, we have those beliefs or the concepts that God is omniscient. God is everywhere in all things. God is the one power. God is omnipotent. So there's nothing besides God's will and God's power. How can we not have peace? How can we not in the next breath potentially have that healing that we're seeking? How can we not see people on the news behaving better? Whatever. It's like that was powerful, Bob, that we always put peace out there where we're not going to experience it. I want to throw in a quick comment because yesterday I was watching a TV series. It was kind of soap opera-ish. And what I noticed was that different characters, they were like whining about what's going on in their life. There was all this poor me. There was all this victim stuff. Like, how is this happening to me? And I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my God. But I was aware I do that less and less. Let me just not say I don't do that anymore. I do it less and less. And if I catch myself in that, I catch myself because Course gives us the miracle of choice and choosing again. I'm so glad to be with you and to be with all of you on this study. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharonda. Rafi?
Yeah, it just reminded me, and thank you so much for the reminder about how ego consciousness or ego mind is desperately afraid of change. Oh my God, it's going to change. Now what do I do? Now what do I do? Now what? And change is always in the future, which doesn't exist. Neither does the ego mind when you come right down to it. It's really just a thought. It's just an idea. But that constant fear of change keeps that sense of worry, victim. Of course, the ego identifies itself as a victim, Even when it says I'm better than you, it says, yeah, but suppose you find out that you're better than me. Oh God, what's going to happen to me? But oh God, what's going to happen to me is, oh God, what's going to happen to me in the future? Because ego combined has no concept of what now is. Does not understand now. Now is reality. Past and future aren't, and it only understands what aren't, what it isn't, and what isn't is past and future. And so there is that desperate fear of change. Oh my God! But when we look at it, the only thing in this dream that you can depend on is change. So there's that constant conflict that it's dealing with all the time. And if we don't stand back and look at it from a point of view of the witness, of the observer, and chuckle at it, and let go of whatever feelings that it generates, then it's going to perpetuate itself. This was perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brooklyn?
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Sherry. You must have been a teacher or something. You read so beautifully. Um, yeah, this very well put. It reminds me of yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, and today is a present, a gift. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. There's one short one that we kind of alluded to a few minutes ago, and I think we have time to get it in. And I'm going to bring it up if somebody else wants to read it and give Cherie a break. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And this is basically what you commented on earlier, Lynn. So let me change the size of this, and we'll let somebody else read it. There we go. Okay, oh, sorry.
I can
Anybody
read that, Bob.
You want to read it, Joanna?
I can do that. Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead.
The most powerful key. Every computer has many keys. Some add information. Some move it around. Some copy, paste, or rearrange what is already there. But one key has a very different function. One key removes what no longer needs to remain. Delete. Without that key, every mistake would stay on the screen forever. Every typo, every false start, every sentence that made no sense would accumulate until the page became unusable. The work could not continue because the clutter of the past would constantly block the present. Wow. The same is true of the mind. I can't see anything more in my
Yeah, I'm
screen.
trying to get down there.
Yeah.
There we go.
Much of what we carry is nothing more than mental clutter. Old grievances, ancient embarrassments, judgments about ourselves, judgments about others, interpretations of events that happened years ago but still seem alive because we keep replaying them. The mind becomes like a document that has been edited for decades without ever removing anything. Line after line piles up until the original message can barely be seen. Most people try to solve this problem by adding more text. They add new philosophies, new rules for living, new affirmations, new explanations for why things happened the way they did. They attempt to correct this document by inserting more and more words, but the real solution is rarely addition. It is deletion. Spiritual practice is often misunderstood as the accumulation of knowledge. In reality, it is far closer to editing. The work is not to build a more complicated identity, but to remove the mistaken ideas that keep rewriting the same painful story. Think about how simple the delete key is. It does not argue with the sentence it removes. It does not analyze the typo. It does not hold a debate about whether the paragraph deserved to exist in the first place. It simply clears the space so the work can continue. Imagine if the mind worked the same way. A painful memory arises. Instead of analyzing it for hours, you simply delete the meaning you attach to it. Someone says something unkind. Instead of constructing a defense or counterattack, you delete the interpretation that you were harmed. A fear about the future appears. Instead of trying to solve a future that has not arrived, you delete the imagined outcome. Nothing dramatic happens when you press delete. The screen does not flash. Music does not play. The computer simply becomes clear again. Clarity is quiet. One of the surprising discoveries along the inner path is that the mind becomes lighter, not by learning thousands of new truths, but by releasing thousands of mistaken assumptions. We have been taught to believe that growth means accumulation, but real growth often looks like subtraction. Children illustrate this beautifully. Watch a child drawing on a tablet. If they make a mistake, they erase it without hesitation and continue drawing. They do not hold a ceremony for the mistake. They do not spend 10 minutes analyzing why they drew the wrong line. They simply remove it and continue creating. Adults tend to do the opposite. We preserve the error and build a monument around it. We rehearse conversations from years ago. We defend positions we no longer even believe. We carry guilt for things that cannot be changed and resentment for things that may never have meant what we thought they meant. The document of the mind grows heavier with every page. And all the while, the delete key sits unused. I wonder if I could pass, please, with the reading.
Sure.
Thank you.
Using it.
Okay, using it requires a kind of humility. Deleting a thought means admitting it might not be true. Deleting a grievance means accepting that the past may not need to control the present. Deleting a fear means acknowledging that the story we told ourselves about the future might have been fiction. The ego prefers editing without deletion. It rearranges the same story endlessly, but never removes the central assumption that we have been wrong, damaged, threatened, or diminished. Deletion threatens the entire structure. But once we begin using that key, something remarkable happens. The mind becomes quieter. The emotional noise that once seemed unavoidable begins to fade. Situations that once triggered strong reactions begin to pass through with less resistance. It feels like fixing the mind and more like clearing a desk. When a desk is covered with papers, there is no space to work. You haven't seen this office. But once the clutter is removed, the same desk becomes useful again. Nothing new had to be added. The usefulness was already there, waiting for the space to appear. Peace works the same way. It does not arrive as a new object. It is revealed when the interference is removed. Every deleted grievance, every released judgment, every abandoned fear opens a little more space. Eventually, you begin to realize something profound. The mind was never meant to store every thought it ever produced. Many thoughts were temporary drafts, not permanent records. They were meant to be erased. In fact, the freedom we seek may depend on our willingness to delete entire paragraphs of our identity. The stories about who we are, what others did to us, what we believe we deserve, what we fear will happen next. These narratives feel solid only because we keep rereading them. Press delete often enough, and the story begins to dissolve. What remains is far simpler than the complicated document we once maintained. Without the endless commentary of the past, the present moment becomes easier to see. Without the constant predictions of the future, life becomes easier to experience. The page is no longer crowded, and on a clean page, something new can be written. Or perhaps nothing needs to be written at all. Sometimes the most powerful act is not composing another sentence, but allowing the page to remain clear. It turns out the most powerful key on the computer was quietly teaching a spiritual lesson all along. When something false appears on the screen of the mind, you do not need to argue with it. You only need to remember where the delete key is. Any thoughts?
I love this, and I'm going to put it into practice.
Yeah, Rafi.
Yeah, what you pretty much described is the release technique and the Sedona method.
Mhm.
You did it very well, and you verified and reaffirmed the power of it.
Mhm.
Well done, sir. And it was a great reminder.
Thank you.
Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
Wow. Yeah. Our only job is to remove the blocks to love's awareness, not to change ship, not to change chairs on the Titanic.
I,
Beautiful, beautiful.
I use that metaphor a lot too. Surrender.
Yeah, Rob, I kept thinking forgive. Delete's just another tool or another word for forgiveness. It's like we just forgive, let go of what has no meaning. It's just cluttering up. It's nothing. So we delete it. That would be so easy. I'm with Rick. I'm going to start using this.
And by the way, you make a good point. Forgiveness is the Holy Spirit's delete key.
There you go. Good one, Bob.
And I'm running over time, so I'm going to give it back to Lynn. Thank you all for being here today. Love you all. And God willing, and as I say, the creek don't rise. We'll see you again tomorrow or whenever. Not tomorrow, Thursday. So back to you, Lynn. Thank you. Thank you, Dom.
Thanks, you guys, so much, everybody. I love this group. It's wonderful that you all showed up and hung out, and it's beautiful Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will be off tomorrow. We'll see.